Color significance of PEX pipe for plumbing, for mostly residential, some commercial applications perhaps. But when one actually looks at the pipe, they may note when going into a hardware store, box store, whatnot, may note the color variations of the PEX pipe, and say we have a red, we have a blue, this is 3/4, we have a red, we have a blue, this is 1/2 inch, and there's a white color as well. So now the answer to the question is it's color coded. I'm not exactly sure how the manufacturer does this, but my opinion is normally the red would go on the hot side, the blue would go on the cold side, this would be 1/2 inch, red would be on the hot side, blue on the cold side. So this would say hypothetically, if one crawled under a house and you had old galvanized or old copper pipe, copper's great, galvanized is great. They just, different pipes have different time frames and different time eras. However, now with this new pipe, the PEX pipe, and there are several different types of PEX pipe too. So do keep that in the fore of your brain, that there may be different types. But notwithstanding, so say hypothetically one crawled under a house and they had old copper pipe. The copper pipe is still good. There's perhaps not a lot wrong, but you're upgrading or adding to it or connecting to the copper. So when you have the copper, everything looks uniform perhaps. So one may have to go all the way back to the hot water heater or somewhere, or find a hot side, and then go and then start marking it with a pen or a Sharpie, or however one decides they would like to do it, whatever method each individual uses. So, but it's good to make sure you do it so you don't get them crossed up, because if you get them crossed up and then you turn the water on and the hot's coming out of the right or the cold's coming out of the left, or vice versa, you need to make sure that everything is intact and organized and in the proper order. So the new pipe now, the colors, it just gives you, it saves you a lot of time, because you crawl under here, you look at the red, and you hope the plumber has done this, so you know this would be hot, generally speaking. Not always, some people do make mistakes. You look at the blue, you know it's cold. So it's a time saving factor. You look at the 3/4 red, you would assume this would be hot. The 3/4 blue, you may assume this would be cold. And again, this would be hot red, cold blue, hot red, cold blue. So now the significance of this would be the time you would save, because instead of having to go back, crawl from one side of the house to the other, or however the configuration is of the existing plumbing, and that can vary very widely. So notwithstanding, now with this pipe, it just makes it easier. So when I see the red, generally speaking, it's hot. Now, do keep in mind, it's not a bad idea when you see these pipes, and say, for instance, this 1/2 inch, inspect one or two, and generally speaking, if they have one or two going in the correct order on the hot side and the cold side, generally speaking, the rest of the house may be organized and installed properly too. But if you see one crossed up and they get them mismatched and crossed up, then you may have to be sure that you know which one's the hot and which one's the cold. So the color significance for the PEX pipe is just to save time, and you know which side is the hot, which side is the cold, which side is the hot, which side is the cold. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.